Russia's special military operation in Ukraine has entered its third year. The conflict has battered Kiev into submission against Moscow's war machine, which is showing no signs of backing off. And now with the fall of Avdiivka, Russia has turned the corner. It's Moscow's biggest victory since seizing Bakhmut in May 2023. When Russia launched its military operations in 2022 and surrounded Kiev, its victory seemed inevitable. But Ukraine's counter-offensive kept Moscow away from the capital. Even though it has launched multiple operations to regain territory, analysts say that Kiev's much-celebrated counter-offensive has failed as Russia now controls over 18% of its territory. Russia launched special military operations in Ukraine, striking major cities including the capital, Kiev. In response, Ukraine launches its counteroffensive and Russia fails to take over the capital. Russia claims control of the southern city of Kherson and occupies a significant portion of the neighboring Zaporizhia region, home to Europe's largest nuclear power plant, the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. It later withdraws its forces from Kiev. Russia faces accusations of committing atrocities as videos showing hundreds of civilian bodies in mass graves or left on the streets surface from the town of Bucha. Moscow denies the accusations. Ukrainian missiles hit Russia's missile cruiser Moskva, causing it to sink. Ukrainian stronghold in Mariupol falls to Russian forces after a 3-month siege, cutting Ukraine from the Azov coast and helping Russia build a land corridor with Moscow-occupied Crimea. Russian troops withdraw from Snake Island near the Black Sea port of Odessa, seized during the initial days of the offensive. Turkey mediates a deal with Russia and Ukraine to unblock grain supplies stuck in Ukrainian ports, ending a deadlock that threatened global food security. Daria Dugina, the daughter of Russian ultranationalist intellectual Alexander Dugin, is killed in a car explosion outside Moscow. Ukraine recaptures northeastern Kharkiv region, forcing Russian forces to retreat. Putin holds illegal referendums in Ukraine's Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson and Zaporizhia regions. Ukraine's multiple underwater explosions damage Nord Stream gas pipelines built by Russia to transport natural gas to Germany. Gas prices in Europe skyrocket. On September 30, Russia formally annexes the 4 regions. Ukraine and Russia exchange over 250 prisoners of war. As a result of Turkey's mediation and diplomatic efforts, Ankara elicits praise from the international community for its efforts. A massive explosion damages the Kerch Strait bridge linking Crimea with Russia. Russia withdraws from Kherson, the only regional center it captured. Zelensky makes his first trip abroad since the war began to meet US President Joe Biden and secure Patriot air defense missile systems. At least 89 Russian troops are killed in a Ukrainian missile strike in Makivka, but Moscow captures the salt mining town of Soledar in Donetsk province. US President Joe Biden makes a surprise visit to Ukraine for the first time since Russia's military campaign. The Kremlin rolls out the red carpet for China's Xi, raising fears among the West that Beijing will supply military aid to Moscow. The Wagner Group, a private military organization from Russia, claims control of the eastern city of Bakhmut. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner Group, stages an armed mutiny to overthrow the country's military leadership. Zelensky meets Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in Istanbul for the first time since the war began. President Erdogan advocates for Ukraine's NATO membership, while Zelensky returns home with 5 Ukrainian commanders who were in Turkey under a prisoner deal with Russia. Prigozhin, the co-founder of the Wagner Group, dies in an air crash north of Moscow. Zelensky admits that the Ukrainian counteroffensive has not achieved desired results. Russia and Ukraine play a blame game over the crash of the Ilyushin Tu-76, a Russian plane that was carrying 65 Ukrainian prisoners of war. Putin reiterates that Russia's defeat is impossible, calls for a peace dialogue.
Up until now, there has been the uproar and screaming about inflicting a strategic defeat on Russia on the battlefield. Now they are apparently coming to realize that it is difficult to achieve, if possible at all.